All right, today we're going to dive into a solution that's really shaking things up for educational institutions in India. It's called EDFLY, and at its heart, it's what's known as an ERP. Now, if you're not familiar with that term, don't worry, just think of it as a single smart system that takes all the complicated day-to-day management tasks and pulls them all together into one digital hub.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty direct question, especially for anyone listening who works in a school, a college, or university. In a country that is moving online so fast, is your admin process actually keeping up?
The interesting thing about EDFLY is where it came from. It didn't start with some huge grand plan to overhaul everything. Nope. It started with a single, nationwide crisis that created a really specific and really urgent problem.
That catalyst was demonetization. Yeah, remember that? When physical cash just kind of vanished overnight, it caused a massive headache for institutions that were still relying on it for things like fee collection. And in that moment, the need became crystal clear. They needed a simple, reliable, cashless way for parents to pay.
So the team jumped in and solved that one problem. But what they found out pretty quickly by working directly with these schools and colleges was that fee payment, that was just the tip of the iceberg. The real challenge, the one bubbling under the surface, was much bigger.
So you can really see the journey right here on this timeline. It all kicked off in 2016 with the launch of EDFLYFees.com. But the most important part of this whole story is that middle step, discovery. Because by getting in there and working hands-on with institutions, they saw all these deep-seated problems firsthand. And that's when the vision exploded, from just a simple payment tool into EDFLY, a full 360-degree solution.
Okay, so you might be thinking there are other management systems out there, right? So what's the big deal with this one? Well, the answer really comes down to its core philosophy of being a custom-fit solution.
It all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. The team realized that every single school, every college, has its own way of doing things, its own unique processes. So a rigid, one-size-fits-all system, it was just never going to work.
And here's the real game changer. The platform adapts to you, not the other way around. It literally molds itself to your specific workflows, your policies, making sure you get a system that works exactly the way your institution already runs. It feels like it was custom built for you, because, well, it pretty much is.
All right, so all of that sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you use it? Let's walk through a process every single institution has to deal with: admissions. This is ground zero for the student lifecycle and a perfect way to see this system in action.
The whole thing becomes one smooth digital flow. A student gets a secure link, they fill out a custom form, which can even pre-screen them to see if they're eligible, and they upload their documents right to the cloud. If there's a fee, it's paid instantly online. The second they hit submit, bam, a perfectly formatted application lands right in the admin portal. The entire manual, paper-shuffling process is just gone.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's a night and day comparison. Think about the old way, right? The long lines, the mountains of paper, the constant risk of someone typing something in wrong. The EDFLY way just wipes all of that out. It's digital, it's automated, you can do it from anywhere, and the institution is in complete control, which means it's accurate.
And really, that's the whole point. The final result isn't just about going digital. It's about taking something that has always been super complex and prone to errors and making it incredibly simple, totally secure, and putting the power back in the hands of the institution.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. We've just seen how one critical, often painful process, admissions, can be completely transformed. Now, if you can make that simple, what other parts of your administration are ready for the same kind of revolution? What's next for you?